Yo.
Hey, Jamesy boy.
So, how have you been? Happy New Year and Christmas and all that. How was it for you?
Yeah,
Well,
pretty good. It's a bit
yeah,
relaxed.
James was drinking every day, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
party every day. Kind of
Well,
glad it's
what's
75.
going to
January in a
come?
way.
Well, obviously, first, congratulations are in order to Ross, who isn't with us. So, how does it feel like being his honorary uncles?
Yeah, I'm sure he's
Um,
well happy with that. Yeah, he's doing all right though. I don't know where he is. He's
Yeah.
supposed to be, really.
Oh, that's good.
he, he is, but he lives in the middle of nowhere. I was saying to Azra before, it's like he's probably not going to come in. If he does come in, he'll suddenly dip out because his Wi-Fi won't work or whatever like that. So,
Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, it's not a problem. Okay, so let's start off with an easy question. New year, new you. What's new about you?
So
I've got a
who?
slight bit of stubble, I suppose, grown a bit there. Just trying to match the boys to this year. Just when my winter look. No, we got lots of new stuff going on. We've been in the studio and we have got a single coming out in the end of February, which we're excited about. It's called The Insane Ones, so we're looking forward to launching that one. We're probably going to shoot a video for that fairly soon. We're back mixing some more songs the next couple of days, and then we're in February recording more stuff as well. So it's going to be single, 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 just like a Tinder date.
Ah, wonderful.
So yeah, that's
Oh,
that's that's what we're going. It's looking positive, and we got loads of gigs coming up, which we can obviously talk about later on, I guess. And it's going to be
well,
a busy it's going to be a busy year.
wonderful. That's good to hear. So, talking about your songwriting, what comes first for you? Is it the title? Is it the lyrics? Is it the music? How do you work? And do you all bring ideas to the table, or how do you work that out?
Yeah, we all can bring ideas to the table. A lot of time, like come up with some riffs at home, then I fire it to Ian. He might come up with a melody, then I jam out with Adam, then we change bits about. Get a skeleton of a song, maybe. Vice, James come up with first with the melody on that. So me, James, and Adam were working on that in the studio. Sometimes me and Ian have wrote songs together, like just especially the early stages because we were meeting up a lot and just writing. So it can just change sort of everyone has their input, and I think that's important because then you create something totally different to your own, maybe your own influence. You can rip yourself off in a way, can't you? You might do something that you don't realize you're doing too much, so then you sort of need other people to come in and say, no, actually, like this sounds better this way. And so we're kind of Aaron Jones is ringing me now, but I'm just going to have to decline that. uh, oh God, right, okay, yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, hold on a sec. Yeah.
Which of these
But
songs
yeah,
then
it's
did
good. That's
you
the songwriting
really,
process, basically.
yeah, which of these songs do you think was the hardest for you that you really had to wrestle with? Maybe you couldn't get the lyrics right or the music wasn't quite right.
Um, I mean, every song had its challenges, I suppose. I mean, like I said, Vice was quite easy because James came up with the structure of everything, and it's a good one. You're Not a Slave was quite difficult. We worked kind of that wasn't exist. That was a kind of before we were amongst liars. There were two bands, State Apache, that was Leo, Ross, and Adam were in. And You're Not a Slave is a kind of reworking of one of their songs, but we wanted to rework it in terms of kind of melodies, take the good parts and the riffs and stuff like that, and then get a new chorus to it. And so that kind of came off, and it took a lot of work in the kind of studio with the producer Dave that we were working with as well. So that took a while to come through, but obviously, yeah, very happy with the result. And I think it's really good that we go up. 'Cause Dave's, I suppose, like a sixth member because he'll work with us and he'll say that works really well, or that doesn't work, or take that riff for a song and do this and do that. So in terms of the last album, that's the probably one of the ones that took the longest to flesh out, I suppose, to get a chorus we were all happy with. And other stuff, I mean, by design took a fair while as well, didn't it? Just in terms of because it was just to get that right in terms of melody, and I usually fire melodies and stuff across and ideas, and then we'll go, yeah, we like it or we don't like it, or we'll work with it, and then we'll take something to Dave, and then we end up reversioning again. So but I mean, in terms of the hardest one, I suppose for me anyway, it was You're Not a Slave, but obviously it's one of my favourites, so it's worth the kind of work, I suppose.
Yeah. Leading on from that, is there a subject matter that you think you'd never write about or you'd
We'd
find
never write
difficult to
about
write about?
we don't really write about love, do we?
Well, that's
James
not really
might.
important,
I,
is it? It's,
I feel like we should go
in
like
the bigger
complete Sergeant
picture.
Pepper's my next album.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
complete trippy psychedelic love stuff.
It's going to
You
be
say
out.
psychedelic lobster.
Lobsters. You could write
Lobster.
about lobsters, couldn't you?
Although
Ian
I'm
knows all about my
for a
dancing
psychedelic
lobsters.
lobster.
Hey,
I'm t-
Ian,
Psychedelic lobster.
I
I
haven't
can
put the
see the music
dancing lobsters
video
on
ideas
Twitter yet
already.
for a while, Ian.
I'm taking notes. Don't worry. It's going to be the next album is going to have a psychedelic lobster in it. Don't worry. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll have to put my tweet up
Psychedelic
again
dancing lobster.
with the dancing lobsters. Yes, definitely.
Exactly.
They need
Yeah.
to make a appearance. Yeah.
It's good, but yeah, no, we kind of write about lots of stuff, I suppose, and I mean, we've got plenty of material now that Trump's back in and Musk and all this crazy shit show that's developing all
Oh
over
my
the place.
gosh.
So that's
Yes.
going to be easy kind of content, and
Yeah.
mad
Yes.
stalker fans and stuff like that. So yeah,
Oh,
there's plenty to keep going, isn't there?
there's always something, isn't there? There's always something to write about. I'm sure you'll find something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Plenty of life experience. Um, tell me, tell me something about yourselves, either individually or collectively, that no one would believe.
Hmm.
Have I stopped
Hmm.
you?
Hmm.
Leo's got that face. I don't trust him. I don't trust what he's going to say next.
Oh, I don't know. I can't even think of something right now.
Well, we're on tour. I was sharing a room with James. No, I can't go there. I can't say that. So
He's in Sheffield.
the
Where's
baby's
Andy?
due in about 6 weeks, I think, isn't it? Uh, I don't know.
Oh,
Things about us.
yeah, I don't know. Can't even think
I
what
mean,
people believe. I don't think there's a lot of things that I have done that people wouldn't believe. They're like, yeah, of course he's done. You know, the reaction I get if I do something. They're like, oh yeah, of course he's done that. Yeah, of course he ended up in that situation. So yeah.
I'm
Are
just
you the
trying to think of
troublemaker?
something.
Is he the rebel of the band then?
Who me?
Yes, you, Leo.
Am I the rebel? I'm probably the most nightmarish person. I take James along with me. We're like terror twins.
Oh,
Like,
so
we're like,
that's
Terror
partnering
twins,
time as well
yeah.
now. So you've got someone to blame.
yeah. Put it this way, no one wants to share a room with me, apparently. So, oh god, he's gonna be out late. Like, right, who wants to go out tonight? Because I'm dragging you. But yeah, it's good.
You tell the story about going down the M1 on Boris bikes
I wasn't even there for
after a
that.
gig.
That's how
Oh,
mad
you
that
weren't
was.
there. That was we can't. Yeah, that was. I
But
can't incriminate James, but it was definitely Ross, wasn't it?
Ross and James
Yeah.
were going down the M1 on Boris bikes.
You can blame who's not here. Just blame Adam. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a thing where I got the wrong thing on Google Maps, and I was like, oh, it was only 10 minutes away. We might as well cycle it. So we got the line bikes in London, and we're cycling along, and then we made a wrong turn. Well, right turn on the maps turned out we're on the M1. And we're like, oh no, what do? We need to like get off of this ASAP. And then like it all came up like danger, cyclists on road. The police pulled up. They're like, "What are you doing, you idiots?" And we're like, "Please help us." Day one it was my first day on tour as well with the band. So everyone was like thinking, "Who have we brought with us? This guy's a liability."
That's a great entrance, though. You
that's
definitely made a great
exactly
entrance.
why you're hired.
It was good though, wasn't it? Well, I think we stopped laughing
Yeah.
for about a week, did we? So it's good.
I've like you said. I just thought about something Azra said there, where she just said you make a great entrance. Do you remember playing the Nottingham show? And we were speaking to the girl at the merch stand after, and because James come on stage in this big white gown, his big beard, and she was speaking to us after. She goes, "Oh, when he come on stage, I thought it was Jesus walking on." Like the
And
second coming.
I've still got the gown as well. What I'm doing now is I'm getting like all the artists and things we play with to sign it. So eventually, this whole like white gown, which goes down to my ankles, is going to be filled with signatures and stuff. So I think that it's going to be really cool.
Oh gosh, you could auction it off, couldn't you?
Yeah, yeah. If there's interest in it, it's I think it's got
Good.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be really cool so far. We got like theories on there. We got Aaron we played with, and like on the bands as well. We've done our own tours with. So yeah, it's slowly building up. It might take me another 5 years, but when it is done, it's going to be pretty wicked.
I did some of the fans.
You're
The
going to
fans
know
can,
whose signatures are who.
I asked the different bands to put their band name above it and then to sign underneath
Oh,
each
okay.
ribbon bag.
sweet.
Ah,
No
yes.
worries.
You can
Sweet.
always get some of us to sign it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone
more than
signs,
welcome.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? So, if you weren't in a band, what job do you think you'd be doing?
I'd be a. I don't know. That's a really good question.
Children's entertainer.
I definitely wouldn't be a children's entertainer. I wouldn't be anything to do with.
Fantastic.
I wouldn't. Yeah, nice. I wouldn't be a teacher. I definitely wouldn't be a teacher because I can't. I'm not patient enough to be a teacher. I wouldn't be a policeman. Definitely wouldn't be a policeman. I definitely wouldn't be a parking warden because they're all fuckers. I don't know. Really, I'd be pretty boring. I don't know. I'd want to do as little as possible to earn as much as money as possible. So I might be, don't know, politician maybe.
Politicians, was it?
Not.
If it is
I'd vote for you.
our next
I doubt it.
culture secretary.
So what you're saying is you want to be a cunt.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I am already, pretty much, aren't I? So it's like it kind of it's the shoe
Halfway there,
fits.
fella. Halfway
But
there,
not
just got to get the job.
halfway there. But I mean, I'm not as much of one as a traffic warden. But then again, politician, I don't know,
That's
same thing, isn't it? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wouldn't be I definitely wouldn't be a politician. I'd probably be. I'd want to be like a gym instructor or something like that. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. By the way, how's the challenge going that you were doing?
James has
Uh,
done
that was a good
75
question.
pints hard.
The 75-point challenge, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And the 75
Well,
burgers.
December doesn't count, right? Like, so yeah,
Yeah, look,
Ah. Are we starting
gonna
again
jump on
now
it
then?
again. Yeah, it's fresh year, fresh start. I had
Yes.
2 weeks off, and 2 weeks off everything, like including band rehearsals and that as well. So I just had no responsibilities for the 2 weeks. So I was like, I'm just going to make the most of it. I don't often have a big break, so just ended up partying every day. I was like, start again with the fitness stuff in January when I haven't got as many distractions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then as we say, and then me and Leah go out on the 3rd of January anyway. So
we went out for Merch Man's 30th birthday last week.
yeah.
It was his 30th party, so we just had to turn up and yeah. Well, back on the fitness now because obviously actually suppose a better look good.
Yeah.
For the next round of dates, you mean gigs and that you've got. You mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
A little buff
Yeah.
for that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, better just stop drinking that. I suppose. Now, I've
You brought your
been pretty good
hangover
over
with you,
Christmas.
haven't you? Have you brought your New Year hangover with you tonight?
I didn't even go out New Year. Stayed in. I didn't really do much over that period. The only time I went out heavy was with James last week, and then
It's James again. See, you're blaming. I love
Yeah.
it. I love how James is like the troublemaker of the band. This is all coming to light
Yeah.
now, isn't it?
yeah,
Ever since
exactly.
you
Well, he's
joined
the one. No,
James,
but he's always the one that will say yes. Do you know what I mean? So you like if you go, oh, should we do this? It's like, yeah, go on then. So and you can lead him astray. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, just a couple, but you just get him right on it, and he's there for the long haul. He doesn't have a choice. But he thinks he
Anything's
does.
going.
Yeah. So yeah, he's always there to say yes. So it's like perfect.
because you've got a perfect partner in crime there.
Yeah, exactly that.
we got
You chose him
each
well.
other's alibis.
Well, there you
I
go.
know.
There you go. Yeah. So, if you were to go on Mastermind, what would be your specialist subject?
I'll let Leo answer that one.
Never. What is Mastermind? I don't know. There's a program in it. What's the premise of the program? Because I don't know.
Have you
Yeah,
never
you've got to
seen it?
have. You get that big black chair and you sit in it and you got to ask questions about general knowledge, but you choose a specialist subject that you're supposed to know everything about. So
Okay.
you could sex and drugs or the life and times of
Sweeney Todd.
of Sweeney Todd or horror films. You'd be good at horror
Okay.
films. I reckon Leah would
Can you
do.
actually write? Yeah, horror films.
Yeah, I
You can
think
actually do sex and drugs on there because that'd be a weird mastermind, wouldn't it?
probably not.
I think
No,
you would be
not actually
banned.
do sex and drugs on the
No, I think you
program.
would be
Like,
banned,
you know what I mean?
Leo. I seriously think you'd be
As a
banned. Yeah.
subject.
No, you'd be thrown off the show, Leo. Believe me.
They'd have to clean the
Yeah,
chair as
Put
that's
well.
what I was
himself
thinking.
forward as the
Yeah,
troublemaker, couldn't he? So he's like, he knows about breaking the law and things like that. He's quite, like an accomplice. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that could be his
So
specialist subject.
so maybe I should
I
do the. Maybe my specialist subject would be the law.
Which you know nothing
the,
about.
the long arm
Yeah,
of the law.
exactly. But I know.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, horror films for me. I
Horror
love
films
horror
should be
films.
pretty good. What about
Horror films. Yeah.
maybe like I reckon grunge would be a quite good one to answer questions on for me. I know quite a
Yeah,
lot
Yeah.
about. Be quite a good
yeah.
one. Talk about all the bands. There could be some obscure
Grunge and
questions though.
clunge.
That's the one.
It's an interesting era,
Uh,
isn't it? Grunge was an interesting era, though. There's so many characters
yeah, it
that came out,
was.
and sadly, some of them are no longer with us.
Mm,
And I think that was
definitely.
really interesting. I mean, how would they actually view the scene the way the scene is now?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and everything that musicians are fighting for right now. You know, I mean, there was something I just quickly saw it online before I jumped on here, and something the Music Venue Trust put out, and there was like a survey done, and in the top 10 for 2024, there was not a single UK artist.
Yeah, I saw that myself. Yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. How does that even happen? I know I don't. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. You
Yeah.
know, when you've got bands that are literally fighting tooth and nail, day in, day out, trying to sort of make this work, not just for themselves, because I think what people miss sometimes is the effect of music, you know? And I think, I
Yeah.
mean, personally for me, it's a type of therapy. And I think putting that into its context, a, a lot more should be being done, I think, to safeguard and nurture and build upon what we already have.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, you say about the English scene. I mean, it's like I think American, I think there's a lot more money. They take it a lot more seriously. It's more of a business. Whereas the UK, I mean, I was probably the top 10, you're talking necessarily bands, you're just talking pop artists, I suppose, the big
Yes.
Beyoncé's of the world and stuff like that. So, but if you're talking about bands, just the way Americans, and I know in Canada, there's a lot of nurturing for bands. In America, there's obviously there's loads more, but I think there's more money behind it. There's more investment in the scene, really, and you see that all the grassroots venues and stuff, all the problems they're having over here. It's just, I think it's gone a bit of a funny way.
It has definitely. I think, which is why I think a lot of bands now kind of think, well, if we're not going to be taken seriously enough to make a difference, there's just no point in, throwing money at something that's just not going to work. And it's not just
Yeah,
money, it's time. You're taking time out of your day. And I think artists are not seen as like the traditional full-time job, you know? And I think that's where a lot of the problem is. You say you're a musician
yeah,
and they think
definitely,
you're
yeah.
just dossing with your guitar all day and, not doing much else.
That's what
Well,
loads of people say to me. At the moment, they say, "What do you do?" And I say, "I'm a musician." They what? As a hobby? And I say, "No, fuck off. I'm a musician. That's what I do. It's my job." And it's like, "Oh, how do you do that then?" It's like, well, it's like because I go out and play gigs and sell music and stuff like that. It's just and teach and do whatever. But it's just like, yeah, people don't. But then people won't. And again, the whole music people go out. I think someone said the analogy. Someone would go and spend not even think about spending £3 in Starbucks for a coffee. Do that once, twice, 3 times a day. But they're saying go to see a band live or go to buy music, or they'd rather stream it for free. So it's like the industry has done that
I
by
think
Yes.
I
devaluing,
think
I
that
suppose, the art.
these days that is with the internet and streaming services, it's the best time for the consumer more than ever because there's so much music exposure. It's so easy to access different artists' material from modern stuff back to the classics and things. um, which obviously detracts things from the album sales and things would really help artists out. And on top of that, it also means that a lot of people will just listen to like one or two tracks from an artist, add them to their playlist, and that'll be it. Whereas if you're looking back in the days of records and whatnot, people are like, oh, I can't wait, this band's releasing this new album. I'm going to commit and buy the whole thing. And then because they've just spent that money on it, they'll listen to every track over and over rather than just the singles which make it big. A lot of people will find the hidden gems on there, which won't initially stand out, but people will grow to love them. And that's kind of getting harder and harder to do with because of the internet and streaming services. But at the same time, though, it's not all doom and gloom because it also helps you reach as an artist like across the seas a lot easier. Whereas back before, you would have been a lot more limited to your local audience and then build it up from there. Right now, like if we look at our analytics and things, we got people listening in from like America, Sweden, France, Germany, and to do that, to have that exposure already, it's more slow going, but all it takes is one big seed to bloom, really.
Yeah,
So
that's very
I
true.
think
I do agree with that. Yeah. I think what I find for me personally, what I do miss is the whole fanfare of release day. I mean, before there was a whole kind of a hubbub about, because life wasn't online like it is now. So you'd read it in a
Mm.
magazine, or there'd be a poster in the shop window showing my age now, and you know, and we'd be all, so and so's got a new album out, and there was a whole thing behind it. It was really, I really enjoyed all that. I mean, I still get a buzz because I love music, so I still get that buzz. But I don't know, there's just something a little bit missing, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna something. Back in 2015, the band The Defiled, they did. I don't know if you ever saw this because it was in the press, but they played a 30-minute set on a floating iceberg. Where would you
Cool.
play that something different, or would you want to recreate that because it's 2025? Would you want to recreate that as a 10th anniversary and you do it?
I've never
That'd
heard
be
of
pretty
that.
cool to play.
Pretty cool, isn't
No,
it?
no, right, yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
it's
that.
like it's
I heard of
online.
a
It's
band.
online. You can see it.
Okay, I'll go check it out. Because
Yeah,
yeah, I
Yeah.
heard of a band. There was a gig that was done probably about 2016, 2017, playing up near kind of Everest Base Camp, and it was supposed to be the
right.
world's highest gig. So they got a generation, they got some bands and stuff like that playing up there. That'd be pretty cool. But
Yeah,
yeah, it'd be cool to play on an iceberg.
yeah. Well, 10 years this year since the Defiled did it, so maybe you
Yeah,
can do it
We could redo it, but on a budget and just like do it on like a load of iceberg lettuces.
in the freezer. Just open the freezer door and do it there.
yeah. Or
That'd
on some
be
a
fucking
bath of ice
difficult.
cubes.
In the
Yeah, would be cool to play on Golden Gate Bridge, so San Francisco, I
that.
reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd
That'd
be
be
good.
pretty slick.
When you two did there, Swear the Streets Have No Name on the top of the building
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well. So that was something different, wasn't it? Yeah. I couldn't do that. I'm scared of heights. Probably throw myself off.
yeah. It probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, don't
Don't do
don't do
that. Don't do that.
that.
I'm with you to take notes, remember?
Yeah,
No, I think not necessarily place, but just the idea of like how Freddie Mercury jumping out the helicopter and doing
Oh
that as
gosh.
like to start a show. That'd be
Yeah.
incredible. I think
Yeah.
maybe one up it, we get like a giant blimp with them amongst liars all written on the side of it, and we
Oh my
jump all
gosh.
out that
Yeah.
all in
I
sync.
can imagine that. That would
Yeah.
be so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight onto the pyramid stage in Glastonbury.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'll order a blimp online and I'll bring it to the Gifford next time you're there. Do you think
Do
they'll let
it.
me in?
I'm sure they would. Depends how big the blimp was.
It depends on it. I'll have to look into it. I'm going to look into that. I'm getting a blimp.
Hire a blimp over Wolverhampton.
No, I'm going to bring it indoors. I'm going to drag it up the stairs of the Gifford. Okay, so what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies and interests outside of work? Apart from causing mayhem on the streets, James.
I do a lot of creative things outside of music, which I really enjoy. So I'm currently writing a book, which is I'm in the editing phases of right now. I'm working on some like a literal side project as well, like a more electronic sort of thing. I love cooking. Yeah, so I like to not develop my creativity because that sounds forceful. I enjoy to express my creativity in a variety of ways, not just in one artistic form. I do painting things quite a lot, arts and crafts sort of stuff. And then I also try when I got some spare time just to spend time outdoors, spend time in nature. I like to go on quite long walks and things. Um, I find that quite meditative. I can't say that word. Cathartic.
Meditative. Are you going to have trouble
Meditative.
talking? Are you going
Meditative.
to have trouble talking?
Meditative.
We've got a bit more, we've got a bit longer to go after this. So, what about you, Leo? What do you do for fun? I don't ask Leo these
Uh,
questions. Just something about his face, and I don't know. Go on, Leo. What do
I
you do for fun?
don't know really. Just kind of watch horror films. I like have my son, so we go and do cool stuff. Like I'm taking him to
Oh,
see monster trucks at the O2 Hot
oh
Wheels
gosh.
on Saturday.
Oh, brilliant.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I work a lot outside of the band as well, so I don't always get a lot of time to do what I want. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I try and do like book stuff in and do some cool stuff here and there. But yeah, probably like yeah, I chill a lot to be honest. Yeah, I'm not like don't do a lot else apart from like the band's main focus, and if I'm not playing, a lot of time on between between us all really, but a lot of it me and Ian trying to push it, like emailing a lot of people and trying to get stuff sorted, like sort of managing it as best we can. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, pretty much
Yeah,
that.
it's definitely, yeah. What about you, Ian? What do you do for fun?
I do anything for fun. I'm joking. I've got two little boys, so I spend a lot of time with them, and I've got a dog. I take him for walks.
Love the dog
Do a
and I
lot of
love the
swimming.
cats.
Love the
Love the
dog and
dogs.
cats.
Yes.
That's a full time job in itself. And I teach music as well. And do just everything around music, I suppose. I like to kind of I like to go out for walks. I love cooking as well. And just spend time just chilling as well. It's kind of just downtime really, and watching a good film, watching a good series and stuff like that. And then write as much music as possible. Really, it's kind of takes up a lot of time doing that. So it's very much music focused around everything I do, I suppose.
Yeah.
And yeah, apart from well, I do a lot of exercise as well now. I'm back into swimming loads. Have my first swim of the year today, so I spend about a couple of hours a day usually doing that.
I thought you just said
Um,
swimmer of the year. Oh,
Swimmer
I
of the
got first
year.
swimmer of the year today. I thought
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said swimmer of the year.
I got my 100
Got your
meters
badge.
Got his
certificate.
badge.
Yeah.
Do you want me to sew it on
I
your
did.
pants?
I did 10 meters, Daddy. But
You
yeah,
can
so
call
that
me
was.
daddy anytime, mate.
I know.
Oh my God. Okay.
Moving swiftly on. That's what Leo does in his spare time as well.
Okay.
Sends me
So
suggestive texts.
Yeah,
maybe James can publish these text
you
messages in his
love it.
book.
I do.
Exclusive
Hopefully.
content. That'll be on the
Wait to
OnlyFans.
get to the pictures page.
Yeah, that's all going in James's book.
Yeah.
We wait for the book, James. Yeah. Okay, so we're coming up close to the end of the first session, but I'm gonna squeeze a couple more in this side, let you have a break, and then we'll
Yep.
come back because the torture continues.
Sounds
Bring it
good.
on.
Let's do it.
Right. Name a song you wish you wrote. I'll give you a bit of a point out. For me personally, there's a couple of songs that spring to mind. I love Razorlight's America, and I also love Enter Shikari's Airfield. So if I was a writer, I wish I'd written those songs.
Cool. Um, I really like My Name is Human by Highly Suspect. That's a really cool song.
Oh gosh, yes.
It's a great song.
I've
That
never
says
watched the
something. It's
video.
just, yeah, the
Never
video is
watched the
amazing as well, isn't
video.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wicked.
That
So
video
it's a great
just
song.
when
Yeah.
my kid was like a baby, that you put that video on and just stare at it because it just continuously goes forward, doesn't it? The whole time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah. It's wicked video, wicked song. So
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Forgot about that. That was quite a while back, that was, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I remember the video. Yeah. What about you, James? You got a song that you particularly think that, I wish I wrote that?
Baby
I
Shark.
mean, many. my favorite, my number one on my Shazam list. So, I mean, I love music across time. I love a lot of the modern stuff, but I always have to like go back to the classics for me. And um, a song which I know quite a lot of the background on is "A Day in the Life" by the Beatles.
Ah,
And
okay, yeah.
I think that'd be. I know that they, for example, I'm going to be so wrong. I'm going to be corrected after this, but I'm pretty sure they had like a massive choir, um, like hundreds and hundreds of people fill out the Albert Hall, and they had and like an orchestra and things, which they did like the sound reversals and things on during like the massive dynamic section of the song. They use like the whole like circle of fifths, the psychedelic elements of it, while doing the split between Paul on guitar, doing like the kind of happy section, which suits this kind of style, in contrast to John on the piano, doing the more melancholic side. I just think it would have been. It's such a creative song, with so much thought put behind it, and so many people were involved in the production. I think it would just been so cool to say you were a part of that.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah, yeah. I think the way music kind of works and how it affects different people, I think that's really interesting. You know, what everybody takes from music. Sometimes you'll be thinking that, oh, that song means something, and somebody else will say, no, it doesn't mean that. It means something else to me. And I just love how, everyone's got a different story to tell, I think. And one song can sort of mean so many different things. Is that
Yeah.
something that you think about when you do your writing? Or is it personally, do you just keep it to whatever's in your mind?
I think we kind of mix it up, don't we? I mean, sometimes songs go off in different directions to what you start, I suppose, and there are different sections you bring in. I mean, yeah, it'd be amazing to go to Abbey Road and with an orchestra. Maybe one day we'll get that level, but I think just the writing process is great because it's really creative and it's working. You can start with. I was listening to the track. What was it? Paradise City by Guns N' Roses just came on the other day, and it was just like you think it seems like quite a simple song,
Yeah,
but there's so many different facets. It goes reggae, it goes, and all of a sudden there's fast bass, and it's just like simple melodic chorus. But then it's completely, if you listen to what's going on underneath it, it's so many different kind of parts to it, and facets to it, which makes it, it's incredible. But you listen to it, and that's the beauty of it, I suppose. The way and the same in the craft of the day in the life. It's like I suppose it's just like getting something seem seamless, where you've got so many different really complicated elements to make it really creative, I suppose. But it comes across to the listener as that is it's just really catchy and powerful song. So it's a similar kind of process, I suppose.
right. So I'm going to ask you a question and then I'm going to leave it and we'll continue. We've had a short break. Is that okay?
A
So,
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
yeah,
But
well,
there's
sort
more.
of. Adam isn't here. So, and this was for Adam and James actually in particular. And I'll tell you why. The question is this: the drummer, keyboards are normally at the back of the stage. What are you hiding behind your keyboard and behind the drums? Dun dun
Wow.
dun. So I'm going to say bye-bye just for a minute, and then we'll come back for part two.
Cool.
How does
So this
that
is on the
sound?
second. Yep, second link. Yeah.
Answer on the second link.
Cool. I'll send it
Okay,
across to guys.
wonderful.
Cheers.
I think you've got about 10 minutes, so you should be all right. So you can grab a
Cool.
drink or something if you want, or I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to ask
Perfect.
Leo what he does. So I'm sorry, I'm not getting into that. So
10 minutes. Go.
10 minutes, right. Then see you in a bit then.
See you in a
Yeah.
bit.
Bye.
Bye.